Green Man! 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 Holy YouTube video, Green Man!
Hi there, it's Friday. It's time for me to go in depth through a couple of my birthday books. So today we're looking at the Twilight Zone. See, all these are for September 1969. These are nice Avengers, the Mighty Avengers number 68. And we've got a Submariner there. Submariner. I don't know, I don't think it matters how you say it. As long as you don't call him Aquaman. Yeah, take him out of the plastic so you can see him better. Alright, so let's go through these. Alright, so first let's go through the Mighty Avengers. Let's get this lined up so you can see more of it. Push it back a little bit. Let's just see the whole book if we can. Or as near, damn it, as I can make it possible. Like that'll do. Right, so the Mighty Avengers number 68. Only the Vision could tell us how to save the Earth, and he may never speak again! Yeah, that was a good voice for Hank Pym there, wasn't it? No, actually, no, that's not Hank Pym. That's Hank Pym is there, isn't he? That's Hawkeye. Clint Barton, I think his name is. Right, yeah, so this is, they're facing off against Ultron. I'm not sure what number Ultron he is. It could be Ultron 3. I'm not too sure. Cringe, you pitiful human worms. Little good shall it do you when I pull this final switch. You and unsuspecting millions shall perish. Yeah, I'm not going to read you every single page. I'm just going to have a quick look through the book and tell you what I can remember about it. So yeah, they've nailed Ultron in his base. They're laying on the smackdown as well as they can. But, you know, the Ultron's a tough old cookie. And, yeah, basically they don't manage to take him out. I can't remember what the story was now. It's a while since I read it, but somehow, obviously from the cover, Vision knows what to do to defeat him, but he's not able to say what it is. See, because originally Vision was made by Ultron, wasn't he? But I'm not sure how. This is 1969. I'm not sure how recently it is that he's been turned to the side of good. Ultron 6, for it was I who unleashed Ultron 6 upon the world, and only I who could thwart his ghastly plans by wrecking his apparatus from within with my last ounce of strength. Right, okay. Yeah, I think Ultron escaped then, and they managed to get Vision. I think they're trying to probe his mind. Fed in all the energy his body can take anymore, and we risk destroying him forever. Yeah, and yet I sense that he tries to speak, even knows the clue we seek to the Achilles heel of Ultron 6. Yeah, but so he's not able to tell them. Yeah, the most rudimentary kind of mind probe Avenger. So they're trying to probe his mind to find out what weapon it is, what way they can defeat him. But for some reason they end up having to go to Wakanda. I think Black Panther has some device, something to do with the metal, because I think he's either vibranium. I think he's made with vibranium, this Ultron 6. I know later ones are made with adamantium, aren't they? And it's a toss-up between which is the most powerful. Alright, yeah, now he's talking about adamantium here. Right now, I think this guy, Taku, that mentions here, which must be this chap here, apparently this is his first appearance. Daz the Key Chaser informed me that this was the first appearance of Taku, who's like an advisor, scientist for T'Challa, the Black Panther. So that's cool. So, Yellow Jacket's gone to meet up with T'Challa. He's in need of a favour. We need a sizable chunk of vibranium, and we need it fast. There we go. I wonder what the first appearance of vibranium was in comics. And adamantium. Was adamantium around before Wolverine? Was it invented for Wolverine, or was it already a metal, known metal? Because I know Captain America's shield ended up being a vibranium. But I don't remember actually. Was it a vibranium adamantium alloy, or was it some kind of meteorite metal? I can't remember what it was made with. Has it changed over the years, maybe? But anyway, right. So they come up with a plan to defeat Ultron. Right, Ultron comes bursting in. The ultimate Ultron! No, you snivelling human insect. Not Ultron 6, but one who has involved himself beyond the 6th level, beyond any numerical degree. The hand that slays you shall belong to the ultimate Ultron. Right, now I think this guy turns out to be Hank Pym in disguise. I can't remember now. Anyway, they all go tearing into him. Yeah. Fall, sooner hurl your taunts as raging atomic winds than as one such as Ultron. There you go. He's for a robot, you'd think an emotionless robot. He sure does get megalomaniacal, is it? Yeah. He's still got a big head, put it that way. Almost as big as Clint Barton's there when he's grown as Giant Man. Yeah, watch the ceiling. Always watch the ceiling when you're growing there, big guy. You are as clumsy as you are stupid, giant. Strike quickly before you cease to entertain my synthetic soul. Right, yeah, and he knocks him straight through the ground. But then he comes back, of course. Leaves him blinded with his blast. Not so, most foul of fiends, I say thee nay! Yeah, old Thor with his delightful turn of phrase and his archaic language. But thou shalt not slay my fellow Avenger, or any man, not whilst Thor doth live. Yeah. Don't you see, Thunder God? I care nothing for you Avengers, whether you live or die. You haven't seen me defeat you all, humanity shall tremble. Right, so then he goes over this Dr. McClane, who I believe is... Right, so he gets hold of him. I can't remember what he was trying to do. For you, unlike Ultron, place some modicum of value on a single human life. And if you approach a single step nearer, a misstep which shall never occur, immortal, for I have incorporated into my invincible body this mind-draining device. Within moments, the human's innermost secret shall be mine. Oh, that's right. This is the guy that he thinks knows about adamantium, how to create the adamantium alloys, I think, and that's why he's after his technology. Resist or you will, it shall but make my triumph more sweet. Drain thoughts into the circuitized brain of Ultron. Wait, something is wrong. My mind, filling with thoughts I cannot bear. No, I was prepared to receive any scientific formulae, any arcane knowledge, but not this, not this. His face, look at Ultron's face. It's convulsed. He's tearing himself apart. We've won. If you have won, you'll never taste the fruits of your victory, nor shall McClane the instrument of your deceit. Blah, blah, blah. So he basically tries to kill him, and he gets saved by, Goliath. He's called himself Goliath, not Giant Man. Old Clint Barton. Right, now that's some kind of special prism. I'm assuming that's the vibranium chunk that was lent to them by Black Panther. Okay. I'm not too sure. I think it is because he uses it to shield the exploding Ultron. Yeah. I but contain the blast with yon Panther sent vibranium shield. Right, yeah, and then we see Hank Pym was this guy in disguise all the time. That's weird. Oh, I think they done some kind of hypnosis on themselves so that Ultron, when he read their mind, didn't know that he wasn't Hank. I don't understand it really. Okay, fair enough. Right, so this is what killed Ultron. I had you hypnotise me, Jan, into believing I was Dr. McClane. I wrote a speech I memorised, but you filled my subconscious with only one thought, one phrase, something so alien to Ultron's nature that it might drive his non-human mind insane. And it worked, big brain, but what was that phrase anyhow? As a precaution, even we too were not told the words that drove a menace to distraction and saved the planet. A simple phrase, Avengers, and an ancient one, which men have lived by since the dawn of time. Thou shalt not kill. There you go. Thor should have said that. That's how he talks all the time. Thor should have been like, hey, what are you talking like me for? How dare you? Right, so that was the Mighty Avengers number 68. The Death of Ultron 6. The first appearance of Taku. Yeah, so that's cool. Right. Now for the Twilight Zone. There's no numbers on the Twilight Zone one. This up here it says 10016-909. So it's a really weird numbering system these Gold Key comics had. Yeah, Rod Serling and the Twilight Zone. Who does not know this TV program? It's the most classic anthology kind of TV show ever. It ran from 1959 to 1964, I believe. 5 seasons of the original original TV show. And it's been rebooted a couple of times. There was a full-length movie as well about it, and I think there's another reboot coming very soon. I can't remember the name of the person who's doing Rod Serling's job. But the trouble is, Rod Serling was integral to the initial 5 seasons with his intros and his outros. He just had such a gravitas about him and such a cool way of like introducing everything. It was just classic and timeless. I mean, you can look back on it, and there are some of them are a bit hokey and a bit cheesy. I mean, some of the stuff is like set in the future for them. Bearing in mind this is the early '60s, and they're talking about, oh, it is in the far distant future of 1992, that kind of thing. I actually I do a heavy metal podcast, High Speed Hangover podcast, and I do a Patreon show for my patrons. Every month I do a themed show, and I've actually done 5 shows in a row about the first 5 seasons of the Twilight Zone. So I've dug out songs that fitted the theme of each Twilight Zone episode from each of the 5 seasons, kind of thing. So yeah, that was a lot of fun. So I've got a few facts about the Twilight Zone that I can remember. Probably forgotten most of it by now. But so in this first story, tall timber, they want to cut down this tree. These woodmen want to cut down this tree. This guy's saying, no, you leave the tree alone. Like, they managed to get rid of him, and this guy Madeira starts to climb the tree. I assume he's going to lop some of the top branches off before they chop the whole rest of the tree down. But when he gets up there, it's a long climb. He starts feeling dizzy, and then smoke. It starts smoking. There's fire. So he climbs down, jumps in the river, and when he gets out, he's in the past. Basically, somehow climbing the tree has sent him back into the past, and he's captured by these natives. He finds a conquistador there. So this is how far back in the past. When did the conquistadors go to? Was it 1400s or something? Sometime in the 1400s. Is that when they first arrived in America and started taking whatever the hell they could? Right. So they managed to escape. I think there's more mist and smoke. I can't remember what they were tied to a tree for. Was that sacrificed them or something? Were they meant to burn up in the fire? All I know is today they're going to die anyway. But anyway, he ends up back by the same tree, and he's back in the future again. He's back in the present day, and he refuses to cut the tree down. The art in these books isn't fantastic. Look at that chainsaw. He's holding his chainsaw in one hand, and look at the shape of the blade. It just looks really weird, that chainsaw does. But basically, Madeira, I sent you up there over an hour to top that tree, and you haven't touched it. What's wrong with everybody around here? Won't anybody cut down that tree? No, boss, not me or anybody else. That tree stays. For Frank Madeira, this day will last another 1,000 years. The tree which he saved on this day will carry the memory, as it has for thousands of years already, of all that passes before it, to be unlocked only briefly in the Twilight Zone. There you go. I can't do Rod Serling's voice, unfortunately. Right now, then there's a little story, The Vanishing Hero. This is about, I think this is like a ghost soldier, if I recall. Yeah, since the ancient days of the Roman legions, man legends have told about phantom armies and mystery warriors who have suddenly materialised in the midst of battle to help a gallant cause. Yeah, the same month as this little article was in this one, there was actually a story called Ghost Patrol in one of the other comics that I did as one of my 13 nights of Halloween. That's about ghost soldiers as well. So there's quite a history of like reportings of like ghostly soldiers kind of thing. There's even a pop song called Camouflage about a ghost soldier from Vietnam that I remember back in the 80s it was. But anyway, right, now this is in the cars. This is a little historical kind of story to do with some of the guys who, like British guys I think, who did the fastest, like so Malcolm Campbell was doing like Bluebird, was like super land speed records, and that's his son Donald Campbell. He's only 6 years old at the time, seeing his dad going faster and faster. Then he went over from land records. He wanted to get records on the water, so he was doing water records, trying to go as fast as he could. Beating the records kind of thing. Right, then his son goes on to carry on in his legacy, trying to do speed runs and that. Then on the night before he died, he's playing cards. this is the Scott. I'm not sure if this is really what happened or if it's just a made-up story for this. Got a detached staple there. Great Scott, man, tell me, you've turned 2 cards and you've become pale as a ghost. What is it, man? The cards I turned, the Ace and Queen of Spades, the same cards turned by Mary Queen of Scots before she was beheaded. Death, I've had it. I'm going to get it tomorrow. It's in the cards. And the very next day, he was right. Without warning, the bow lifted at tremendous speed. The boat shot from the water, cartwheeling to its doom. In minutes, it was all over. Donald Campbell died in his boat, just as he had predicted from the cards the night before. So, yeah, whether this is a retelling of a true event. I mean, I know the guy did live and he did die in his boat, but I'm not sure if this card story was real or not. I tried searching it on Google, actually, to see how much truth there was in it. I tried looking up that ghost soldier thing as well to find out, see if I could find more out about this particular soldier that is mentioned here. One of the strangest of such legends is the story of Marshall Dickerson. So I was trying to find out about, look him up, but I couldn't find any more information about him. Right, then the next Twilight Zone story is called Made in Hong Kong. Some guy decides to suddenly go to Hong Kong for some reason, but yeah, he just suddenly gets possessed to go to Hong Kong because it's something to do with the war. He was in the war, he crashed his plane and some guy helped him. Yeah, it's very strange. So he's right, so yeah, I can't work that out. I'm assuming this must have happened to him in the past, but he's forgotten about it, and now he's going back to help the guy who helped him back in the past. It wasn't really well sort of explained what the story of this one was, if I recall. Maybe he had a head injury, maybe this is a fever dream of his or something like that. Yeah, I think maybe that's what the case was. Maybe he was, you know, maybe this beginning part of the story is just his dreaming while he's unconscious, while he's in the Twilight Zone of you know, of being in a coma, being you know, slightly brain damaged or whatever, and then he's waking up. Yeah, that could be it. That could be what the story is. Like he crashed his plane. This guy Wong Lee helps him. And while he was out, he had a sort of a vision of the future, knowing that one day he was going to come back for him and bring him to America, because that's like the guy wants to go to America sometime in the future, he says. So I think that's what that story was about. And then this last one in here, the Phantom Balloon. This is another one I featured on my 13 Nights of Halloween videos. Basically, a guy goes up in a little balloon. I can't say that would be something I'd ever do because I hate heights. And look, it's just a chair, just a blinking chair on a bloody balloon. Ooh, no thank you. So he's up there, way up above the clouds, everything's going nice, but suddenly the cloud is a lot thicker than it looked when he went through it. It's got really thick and it starts heading towards some storm clouds. And then this is another really old balloon over in the distance called Grey Eagle, I think this balloon was called. And so it's like from 160 years ago. Then he starts getting into trouble. His balloon catches fire. He's, you know, what's going to happen? He's got no hope. But luckily, we have a guy, the Grey Eagle pilot, throws him a rope, so he's able to climb up into the other balloon. But then you can see the guy there wearing some. He's obviously some kind of historic society or something like that. He must be part of a historic ballooning society. He doesn't say anything though. It's a bit strange. Anyway, this guy ends up back on the ground suddenly. And some old timer says, "Seen a balloon, did ya?" "Yep, maybe you did, son. About 200 years ago, I reckon. A fella had a balloon here, the Grey Eagle, he called it. First one in the country. Folks say he went up and never came down." So yeah, so basically a ghost balloonist saved his life. Believe what you will, old timer, but the distance between what we know and what we don't know is separated by an eternity, as Ernie Greco has learned, an eternity called the Twilight Zone. There you go. So that's a lovely little advert there in the back. Beautiful and appealing oil paintings, now yours at full colour large art prints, all for only $1. Yeah, I bet $1 cost a lot more back in them days. I wonder if anyone's got these. Muffin, Godfrey, Happy and Coquette are the names of these little doggies. Alright, that's that one. Right, now Prince Namor, the Submariner, or the Submariner. I don't know what I say most actually. Do I say Submariner or do I say Submariner? I think I say Submariner because it's like, you know, a submarine, so I call him the Submariner. From the stars, the Stalker. Right, not a character I've read a great deal of, Prince Namor actually. I know he started off as a villain, he went villainous. He was villainous and he sort of became less of a villain. But I think it was the old seaman, underworld sea person, raging against the Earthlings, so the land dwellers. But it was quite strange because I was reading a 1969 book the other day where he met up with Captain America. And I suppose it was, I think it might have been a reprint, so maybe it was earlier in the 60s. I'm not sure when Captain America first emerged from his icy tomb that was preserving him. But they faced off with Submariner. When he first met the Avengers, they were facing off against Submariner, because it was Submariner who threw his icicle tomb into the water and made him thaw out, wasn't it? But and it was as if they didn't know each other. But then the later books from the 70s, the Invaders, they're a member of the same team. But the Invaders is based in war times, so the 1939 to 1945, I suppose. And so they knew each other then, but when they met each other back in the 60s, they didn't know each other suddenly. So it was a bit of a, I don't know if that was ever explained in Marvel continuity or not, but yeah, anyway. Right, so here's Submariner. I believe he's not an enemy of the land dwellers in this story, but this one all takes place under the sea anyway. There's this guy called not Dorma. Dorma's her name, I believe. What is this guy? Yeah, Cormac. This is Cormac. He's an advisor, but he's he's a lying, sneaking little cheat of a weaselly guy. He wants the throne for himself. Yeah. There's so much stuff about undersea dwelling people. Are they actually under the water now, or are their dwellings underwater, not full of water? Because here it looks like the undersea dwelling is not full of water, but like a sealed air environment under the sea. I'm assuming this is meant to be under the sea. Otherwise, things like smashing things on the ground like that, and if he was under the water, his cloak would be billowing up around him, that kind of thing. But yeah, so Cormac is kind of like a religious leader, but he's trying to usurp the power. He tells Namor that he has to go and do this sacred ritual, take the sacred trident back to some place, like an ancient city or something like that. I don't know. That's what he tasks him to do that anyway, saying that the gods have told him that it's time. I vow to forge the sceptre anew in the living flame, or return to New Atlantis nevermore. Yes, this is New Atlantis. He's going back to old Atlantis to stick this trident and reforge it and please the gods or something. But all it's really going to do is please Cormac, because Cormac has got aliens who I think they've come to Earth to steal our water, actually. Although they don't tell Cormac there, but they want to. So he's like, you help me. You do what I want you to do. You get rid of this Namor so I can become king of the sea, and and I'll let you do whatever it is you want to get up to. I think that was the nature of their pact. I will be going in more depth on the blog. Actually, I will reread these again, and I'll write a blog entry with more in-depth stuff about it. I'll give you names and numbers and stuff rather than just going and scratching my head. Like a little you can turn in this corner. I'm trying to straighten out this little corner. Oh no, it's fell off instead. Okay, I should have left that well alone, shouldn't I? I just picked the corner off when I was trying to unfurl it. Right, so when he gets to the place where he's got to stick the trident in the forge and reforge it, he's ambushed by this guy, the Stalker. I'm not sure if this is the Stalker's first appearance. I need to look that up actually. But yeah, he's a member of this alien race who I think they want to steal the water of Earth, basically. I'm not sure. Yeah. I have waited here for you through long impatient hours. You are the prey and I the hunter. You are the prize and I the stalker. Then whatever your purpose, you need stalk no longer. You have found your quaking quarry. Rumph. Ah! Yeah, I think that he's got some kind of suction thing that's going to. I think it's going to suck up the water, but it's going to try to suck up Submariner. An uncanny funnel beam, he describes it as. But fortunately, he has the power Imperial, and yeah, he manages to get out. Yeah, there's the ship up in space. There's some intrigue going on in the palace. Cormac's getting his supporters to sort of big him up. He's expecting Submariner not to return, so he can get made into the new king of New Atlantis. Right, so finally, right, when he was ambushed before, he wasn't actually in New Atlantis. He was on his way to New Atlantis, and now he's here in New Atlantis. He's going to reforge this scepter, the trident, and Stalker is waiting for him again. Ambushes him once again. He used his weapon. He's trying to fight him, but he doesn't reckon with the might of Submariner. Right. I think in the end he does get sucked up onto the spaceship. So by the swirling Sargasso, his great mass weakened the temple pillars and they collapsed upon him. Yeah. So right, but Stalker doesn't die. But then Submariner gets caught up in this dreaded funnel once again. There we are, and that was the end of that one. So we'll have to get the next one to find out what happened. This time there is no escape from its whirlwind embrace. I am drawn upward into the realms wherever I... Whoops, sorry, I'll start again. I am drawn upward into realms where even I can draw no breath. I, my proud barbarian, you shall make the long voyage into the void of space to serve a purpose you cannot begin to fathom, and you shall never return. There you go. So that's the end of that one. Submariner's been blasted off into space. Bit of damage on the back cover there. A bit yeah. That's my housemate. See, that's all right, mate. Yeah, it's quite damaged the back cover there, but never mind. Right, so that's it. That's all 3 of my birthday books for this week. Go to the blog to get more information if you're interested. I'll try and put a bit more info in there, sort of, yeah, explain it a bit better perhaps. And that's it. I'm off. Thanks for watching. Cheerio.